Welcome to this first look map tour with me, MrSealyp. De Terra Italica. I'm not going to lie to you, I've fallen in love with this map. I have been around this map already. This came out yesterday, Friday, and with the dev blog, and I'd done a couple of guide twos that I need to be released, and I went over the map, had a look, didn't get a chance to record the first look, so I'm doing it now. And wow, I will preface this by saying, as I often do, this is not necessarily going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it is mine, and I like it. This is a new map out by Team FSI Modding, Sukaz MarcoLs. It's an Italian map, as you might have guessed by the title and the thumbnail. We start at the main farm, inside a barn, which is unusual, don't often do this. So kind of the farmhouse, barn, whatever you want to call it. I think these doors will open. Yeah, we'll open that one. There are some lovely touches, some really neat, tidy stuff going on this map. I really like it. Now, I'm not in any way putting down any other map makers or modders. I recently did a first look map tour on Tuscan lands, and I really liked it. I really liked it because it was different, and I said that on the video. I liked the landscape, I liked the style, the terracotta roofs. I liked the fact it wasn't a closed-in, you know, English map, Irish map. It wasn't a big open American map. It was different. This turns the dial up to 11. My daughter went to Italy last year on holiday. I've seen loads of pictures, I've seen stuff on telly, I've seen films, I kind of get the impression of what it's like. There was a brilliant series with Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon, and they toured Italy, and this captures it. I mean, really captures it. In my mind's eye anyway. I mean, maybe that's just me. But anyway, let's get on with this map tour, otherwise we'll never actually get anywhere, and I've got a lot to fit in. So let's have a look on the map to start off with. It's an interesting shape, it's an interesting size. There are lots of fairly small fields on this, but that's perfect for the region. It's a mountainous region, and it works really well. Really well. You start off with a lot of fields. A lot of them are grass fields, to be fair. A lot of map makers will just allocate those a G number, and the grass fields are kind of technically yours anyway. So when you look at that, it's hard to tell, but you've got field 27 on the western side, southern side just below the farm 41, 42, you've got 49, 38, 36, 33, 52, 26. You've got 36, 56, 55, 34, 33, 47 are all grass fields, and you own them all. As for actual arable fields, I think the only one that you might have is field 12, right at the very top. Tiny little field up the top, which I think is an arable field. Now, obviously, you could plough all of these fields out, make them into whatever you want them to make them into. I mean, that's entirely up to you. There are a few things you need to know already. One, snow mask is on and working. I checked that with my usual snow seasons geo. Contracts are available on the fields. As you might expect, it's unusual not to have them. Whether they're available on all of them and whether they work properly, and whether the vehicles spawn in the right places, that's something I don't always look at in my first look, and people will often comment and say, the map's okay, but when you do a contract, the mission vehicles spawn round the wrong way. They're outside of the field boundary. I haven't checked that side of it, and I can't obviously check that for all of the fields. But contracts are available, so that's all there. We're going to go around the farmyard first. Then we're going to do kind of. Oh, it's very difficult. We're going to do kind of a clockwise tour. I'm going to start at the farm down the bottom, and this is where we start. Southern part of the map is where the main farm is, and all the animals are in one place, which is incredibly handy too. And we're going to kind of go out from the farm up the western side, kind of across the middle. There may be a couple of jump cuts to get from place to place, which I don't want to do because I want you to see the map. I want you to experience it. I drove around this yesterday, checking things out, smiling the whole time. And I want you to experience that. So, let's get round the yard. Doesn't really matter which way round we go around the yard, but we start off with a pickup. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Let's check vehicles. What do we start with? We start with a Lindtrack. I like the fact we've got some Italian tractors as well. That's really cool. New Holland 8340, Sammy Fortis, a Lamborghini in style, nice. Mack VRT, various different forks, front loader implements. We've got the New Holland TC590, corn header and normal header and header trailer. FarmTech small trailer. We've also then got we have got a cultivator, we've got a plough, we've got a seeder, 2 seeders, fertiliser spreader, fertiliser sprayer, slurry spreader, manure spreader. There's a fair bit of equipment. Mowers, a front and a side mower, very nice, very nice. Tedder, windrower, loading wagon, baler. There's a lot of equipment. Now, there is a minor downside to all of that. The map being detailed and packed full of stuff, and the equipment you start with. If you look in the top right hand corner, 3 slots available, 712. Some maps you start around the 900 mark. It does vary. And I would honestly say I would be more than happy to sacrifice the slot count for what this map looks like. And I know it sounds really cheesy and I keep going on about it, but it is worth it. So here we have got, I think it's liquid fertiliser refill point. It's just here. The fact the machinery is there kind of gives that away. We have got water pipe here. On that note, I often get the water trailer, which is here, and I'll go off and show you a water source where you can fill up for free. I haven't found one on this map. As far as I know, the only way you can get water is by paying for it. I haven't found a water source anywhere where you can get it for free. We've got a fuel tank just here. Lovely looking shelter. Automatic, you've got that terracotta roof. It's a whole completely different design. The buildings have got that kind of rustic, they've been here a long time look to them. Concrete hard standing, and we come around the corner. This silo I couldn't get to do anything. There are some things on here that I'm assuming are leftovers from the PC version. I could be proved wrong on that, but I think they are. So as we come around the corner here, we've got our cows. We've got our dairy barn just here. So if I open this out, and this is the other thing I like about this, is that, oh yeah, there's a light switch just here. And this is one, I mean there's a couple of little things which are a bit odd. If I do that, it puts the light, at night you can see it much better, a nice round beam of light here. But when you look up to where the light is, the light doesn't show as being on. It's weird. You get the light source, you get the light, sorry, the light shine, but not the light source. Just a small thing, just noticed. That might get sorted out. Now, you start off with animals. I haven't got seasons on at the moment, but it is seasons compatible. So if we go very quickly into the menu and I scroll back that way, we start off with 14 sheep, 5 pigs and 11 cows. It's an interesting mix. You've got a tiny little bit of food in there for each of them, not a huge amount. While we're on the subject of that, let's scroll across and see what we start with in the silo. A little bit of everything, but the prices are good. I mean, very good. If you look at the green ones, they're quite high anyway. That's not even into blue, that's not even good. If you look at the canola oilseed rape one and go down to Le Casupole, it's 2,366 for 1,000 litres. Prices are good. While we're looking at that, these are your sell points. We'll look at those in a minute too. You've got Alla Catapecchia, I'm sorry if I say this wrong, BTS Group, Biomass Heating Plant, Consorzio Emilia, IZC Zuccheri, I think that's the sugar plant, Interporto, Lanificio, La Casupole, Spinnery and Trevache. Now as far as I can make out, Alla Catapecchia means the hovel, like a shack, that kind of thing. Consorzio is like consortium, so there's the Emilia Consortium. You've then got the sugar refinery. Interporto is like a freight terminal, as far as I can make out, freight terminal. Lanificio is sheep wool sell point. La Casupole, that's another one. I think that means little houses, small houses, I think. from what I've managed to work out. And Trevash, as far as I'm aware, Trevash means 3 cows. But I don't know if that means like 3 animal types. That's up at the animal sell point. But we'll get to all of those in a bit. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've missed off there. I want to fit everything in. I don't want to miss anything out. You've already got manure, which is interesting as well. There's manure piled up already. And you've got your feed trough here. I think the water trough... Not sure. Water trough might be the other side. Purchase point, I think. Where's the purchase point? Alright, water trough's here. Just there. It might be around at the main gate, actually. And there's another feed trough just here. Oh, was it here? Oh, there you go. Right, so this marked area here is where we can buy them directly, or load and unload them if we bring them ourselves. It's just around this side. Where the straw goes, I'm assuming you drive in and it just gets put down because the straw's in here. Excuse me. It might be you can put it over the rail here, I'm not too sure. So I'm assuming the manure pile's up here, and then you can clear it out and you can put it round. There's a little manure pile outside. We'll have a look at that in a bit as well. So that's the cows. I need to get around this very, very quickly because I'm fully aware of how much of this map I need to show you. And then we've got our sheep right next door. Water trough is here. Now, I don't know. I think you might be able to access the trigger from this side of the fence. You might not need to go into the water, which is quite handy. The wool spawn point for pallets of wool is just here. Wool pallets. Got one in there already. And then we've got our feed trough just here. So we've got our feed and our water for our sheep just here. The gates do open. And what I like is the terrain. You've got all these like weed and things growing up. It's not your normal grass that's just, you know, that's down. Sometimes you get various different variations on that theme, like the grass field next door, that meadow. But that looks completely different. It's yeah. There's a look about this. My favourite word. The chickens are just here behind us. They kind of just wander about in this scrub here, and the eggs all come into the little barn or little building just here. I love the fact you've even got the detail of kind of like all the chicken poop on the floor. I honestly meant that when I said I've fallen in love with this map. I think it is incredible. Pigs are just here, so they're all right on top of each other, no problem whatsoever. We've got some machine sheds with a few of our bits of machinery lined up just here, and if I click here, that's where we can buy directly or unload our pigs. The sheep one, sorry, was just round by the gate just there. And we've got our feed trough just along here. I'm assuming the manure pile's up in there, and maybe you need to clear that out as well. I don't know at the moment. I came around the corner and thought, pig food silo, brilliant. I couldn't get that to work. There was no trigger, so I'm assuming that may well be a PC remnant. But your slurry tank is just here for the pigs, and the water trough is round here, which you can access here from this side of the fence. That's why I assume the sheep one was the same. You can drive in and do it as well, I assume, from the other side. But anyway, this is your pigs just here. Interestingly, though, the cows are just in that barn. There's no pasture, no cow pasture. That's it. That's where the cows are. The farm itself is fairly basic. I wouldn't say lacking. It's got all of the animals here. It's got a farmhouse and various different things. But yeah, they just seem to be like battery hens, battery cows. There's not a lot of space. There's nowhere for them to get out into a bigger pasture. This is it, I guess. This is their pasture. Anyway, another barn just here, shelter with a few more bits of machinery, and this is your farm silo just here. Your dropping off point into here. If you want to reload, that's just above. Interestingly, and I'm going to go and grab a little trailer in a minute, or is it behind here? It's here. I'm going to show you something. The silo has a capacity of 800,000 litres. No problem whatsoever there. Don't know which one I've turned on, which one I haven't. 800,000 litres. That's a fair old size. Now what I'm going to do for the tour round, bear with me 1 second. I had the auto engine start. I hadn't done all the settings, so I'll move that forward and just move that. Disconnect that weight because I don't need that for the moment. Yeah, now I'm assuming this is a remnant from PC, and I'm gutted if it is. because if I remove that cover and come under this nozzle here and press L3, nothing happens. Now I'm assuming that this thing here is a pig food mixer, and I'll show you why. If I go around into the silo, this is going to be a 4-hour first look, by the way. It's not really. We can do wheat, barley, canola, sunflowers, soybeans, corn, potatoes, sugar beets. This is where it gets interesting. Oh no, sorry, straw, pig food, fine. Straw but no hay. That's weird. Straw, pig food. Then it says pig food base, pig food protein, pig food grain, pig food earth. No hay. You can do straw. No silage, no hay, but you can put straw in here. But my question is, if it does allow you to do this pig food thing, I don't know if it would mix it itself. Like I say, I'm assuming this is left over from PC. If I put wheat in here, how does it know that it needs to be wheat, or do you get those things separately? I really don't know. I couldn't find anything that would show me any of that. So yeah, I assume it's PC leftover. If it is, if you know, please let me know. Just drop a comment and let me know what's going on with that. So next to here, we've got a manure spreader, we've got a slurry spreader, and we've got the slurry tank. The slurry tank feeds from underneath the shed, underneath here, and comes into this tank just here. And if I just quickly grab the Lamborghini, we're going to do the touring style, why not? Sports car tractors. Before anyone comments, I know I do. Lamborghini were making tractors way before sports cars. That's how they started out. We've got our manure bunker here. So I think what you do, the fact there's a manure fork there as well, you go in, you grab your manure, you muck out, bring it through here, out here, put it into the silo, which is rather cool. Saying silos, we have got just here to the left a bunker silo, fair old size, just there. And then we come around to another shed tucked around the corner. Now this is a weird one, something I often forget, and I remembered it on this one. We've got some more machinery tucked away here, some racking if you want to put pallets and stuff on it, and we've got our SAMI parts here. Now we've got what appears to be a workshop, everything laid out like it's a workshop for doing work. We've got, you know, the crane and all the rest of it, but there's no workshop trigger, there's no disc, there's no hazard marked area for configuring, fixing vehicles here that I could come across. I don't know if that's just been missed, but with the toolbox mod you can just plonk your toolbox down and you can do any repairs and stuff here, but there isn't one. Didn't come across it, so I'm assuming there's not one at the main farm. So backing out of here, the last little thing to show you at the main farm is over here. They've given you a load of pallets. There's the fertilizer spreader and there's a seeder just tucked up here, the little ones. But you've got all of these IBCs, seed pallets, fertilizer pallets all piled up, and there's some pallet forks just to the side there. And it does say that when you need more, you've got to go to the store. So you may want to do that, or you may decide you're going to put some seed and fertilizer refill points on here if you've got a mod and you want to download it. Now, I could go out of the farm and just go around the very bottom. There's a little road that runs around the southern part, just past the bottom of the farm there. What I'm going to do is come out of here, and we're going to head up the western side of the map first. And the textures, the terrain, the features. Did I start saying it or did I complete saying it? Yeah, my words that I use a lot. If ever there was a map that needed the word undulations, and I know I say that a lot, I think the word undulations was made for this map. It is awesome. The bumps and things and the tracks and the roads. The fields aren't massive, they don't need to be. This is going to be a small machinery map. It's really rural, it's tight, it's tidy, you know. I love the textures, the details, the weeds, the things that are growing up between. Anyway, I've got to stop talking. If we head up here, and there's features like this going under here. The scenery, the landscape is awesome. So we come under here, and what's incredible about this map, if I go onto the larger one here, from where I am by field 25, if you go out to the left, west of here, You've got field 65 in the bottom southwest corner, and you've got trees and stuff around that. That's set in its own little valley. Up the side there, from field 65 up towards field 27, it's a little valley that runs off just over that direction, all on its own. There's nothing else in there. There's a little pond, and over the other side of it, excuse me, there's a little chapel. And just driving over there, I don't think I'd ever get bored of driving around this map. So, we're going to head north. We're going to get onto the little road just here. And let's start getting some of these sell points in. Make sure I'm on the right side of the road. It just has an incredible feel to it. It feels rural. It feels, again, it sounds stupid, it feels Italian. It's just, it's great. Right. Enough of me gushing. Let's just get on with the thing. And I'm going to keep doing it. I know I am. So, the first of our sell points we're going to look at. And there are two here. We've got a railway line. Unfortunately, on console, it's not operational. I saw the train there and thought, oh, is it like Sosnovka? Is there going to be a handle you pull and the train goes off? I did try it. I did put some crops into the sell point just down the side, hoping it would go off on its merry way. Unfortunately, it didn't, and I couldn't find a handle anywhere. But the railway line runs right off into the distance that way. It runs off into the distance this way. We're going to come across that in a bit. Anyway, so we've got the Consorzio Agrario. I'm sorry if I'm annihilating that pronunciation. So the Consorzio is the first of our sell points, and that's in the store page. And the sell point is just around here. Big facility. I think. There we go. Open it up. So that's the Consorzio sell point. If we go across the railway track, railway line, whatever you want to call it, just here, minding the height of our vehicles and going slowly over these bumps. We've got another sell point this side, and this is the what was it? I'll have to check. No, not on that one. Interporto. Interporto, which as far as I could find out meant freight terminal. So you've got this freight terminal, and this, weirdly enough, and I will just have another look on it, if I go down to Interporto and scroll across, it only shows potatoes as having a price. What I did off screen yesterday was did some sugar beet to test, because you've got two sell points here, one for sugar beet, one for potatoes. It's only showing a price for potatoes, but I bought sugar beet over, tipped it in there, and it's sold. So it will do both, and I was so hoping the train was going to go, but it didn't, unfortunately. So this is your second sell point, Interporto, the freight terminal. Got a couple of little buildings. There's nothing we can open. There's a platform up here. What I like is you've got these ramps, so you know, not that the train's going to come along, but for loading, unloading, that kind of stuff. It just looks really cool. So heading on from here, we're going to continue north. And we're going to go back out of the rail yard this way. Again, slow down, don't get airborne over there. Field prices are okay. Like I say, there's not many huge fields on this. What we look at? Oh wow, look at that, a bison. I don't think I've ever done a contract with a bison. 31,000 for a 0.39 hectare field, but the price for that job, that's a 13-minute job. If you can do that in half the time, that's 7 minutes for $5 grand. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So the prices seem to be pretty good on this map. Whether they've been artificially set high, I don't know. Maybe because it's a lot of small fields, so it's going to be harder to make money quick. You know, you're not going to be able to do a massive field of soybean and make a huge amount of money. But we shall continue. Bridges, rivers, and see what I mean about undulations. You've got this hilly, rocky kind of landscape, valleys and dips and rises. It really has a fantastic feel to it. So I'm going to head down here to the next sell point. To be fair, I could have just driven around that. But... So this is your wood chip sell point, just here. The road I was on, there you go, selling point for wood chips, continues off and around the map, out towards field 35. We're going to head up another way to that. So if I now go up this little road here, kind of go around the hairpin just here and up the hill, the rest of the sawmill is up here, so it's kind of a staggered sawmill. It's really cool. I'm smiling again and just enjoying driving around it. So you can sell your logs there. What we've also got, which is a nice touch, again unfortunately the train doesn't go, but the crane makes a return, which is very nice. And what's interesting with this is you can drive under here, pick up your stuff. The sell point is actually on this rail car. You've got the hazard markings on here, so when you bring your crane over you unload onto the rail car, which is kind of your sell point. It's a nice feature, nice touch that. Crane does operate. I have a bit of fiddle with that. I'm not very good with those, but you know, I did have a look. Now we're going to head out of here. How did I do this? Not sure, maybe I went across the fields. Actually, I'm going to have to go around the other way, aren't I? What am I talking about? There's not another way around. I could have got up to the main road, but I'm going to stop talking for a minute and I'll jump. We'll head up towards field 35. I'll see you up there in a moment. So as we come up towards the kind of northern part of the map, there are large swaths of this map, but there are lots of trees, plenty of trees, not all crammed together too close, nothing that's going to make it too laggy. Large areas of bumpy, rugged ground, which you can't really do a lot with. You could try and cut the trees down and plough it, but it's all over the place. But I like the fact the map's been done in such a way that it gives that realistic feel. It's not just crammed with fields. The fields are where they can be. You would find in real life loads of rocky outcrops and areas where you just can't put a field in. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not too sure why he's getting so excited that I haven't seen anything yet that's blowing me away, the best is yet to come, don't you worry. The next of our sell points, and I think it's up here, the different levels, again it's something I like a lot. The buildings are different, it stands out, it's not... Have I gone the wrong way? Might have done. This one is... I have to check. Right, there's the sell point just here. And we are right at the northern part of the map, up the top here. And we are at... oh yeah, Consorzio Emilia. I think it's Emilia. So that's the northern point, sell point, Consorzio Emilia. And there are lots of little roads and tracks and lanes kind of crisscrossing this entire map. They go all over the place. It is phenomenal. Now, there was something I wanted to show you, and I don't want to skip it out. But just over there, you can see directly ahead of me, there's like a terracotta roof. That's kind of like a placeable area, in so much as there's another farmyard with all fairly the same buildings as down the main farm, but there's nothing in it. It's kind of not abandoned, but I've got too much to show you, and you're going to see cool stuff anyway. I urge you, go and have a look, have a drive around this map and really enjoy it. So we're going to come up the hill now, and we're coming up to one of the highest points of the map, I think it is, which kind of overlooks all the surrounding area. It's brilliant. Another kind of placeable area if you want it to be. Make it into another separate farmyard if you want it to be. I'm trying to work out the route around this while taking all of the sell points without backtracking and getting myself lost would be a good thing. Now this is the sell point that had the weird name that was like hovel or shack, and I suppose when you look at it, It's just a small one building. Let's open the gates. And there's your sell point. This one was up here. Was it Calapeccia, wasn't it? Catapeccia. Let's go across one. Yeah, Alla Catapeccia. Catapeccia, I might be saying it wrong. Which, as far as I can make out, means the hovel, shack, shanty, that kind of thing. But anyway, that's the sell point for that. What was it you can sell in there? And this is a weird one as well. I don't know if it will take other crops. There's no prices, but it's only showing prices for sunflower and corn, which is again, don't know if that's all you can sell. And I don't know whether maybe that's a mistake, the fact that some of the other sell points are taking other things. But anyway, so that's that there. Which I'll go over the field. It's not going to be the end of the world, unless you're the field owner, of course, which is probably me. It doesn't seem to be a field number for that one. And we come up to Italia Zuccheria Commerciale. Now this is sugar refinery, so you can imagine here they're going to be taking sugar beet. I don't know if there's no prices for sugarcane, I remember now. And the sell point for this, I think that's weighing scales, is around here. Another very, very big building. And when you think of the whole kind of rustic, lovely feel to the map, it's a huge, imposing building to be sitting up on the landscape, although there's the Italian flag fluttering on the roof there. So here's your sell point. Again, something a little bit different. I like this. I don't know if that operates when you sell. Probably not. They don't often. They're just here to look good. It does look good. I like that. It's these nice little touches that make a difference. So, swing round. And the next point we're going to go to... Find something. Something bad. Is the shop. Now, again, this is one of those odd things, and again, I don't mean it to be a criticism, but when you look at the detail on the map and how, I mean, just awesome, and like I said, I'm not going to say it again, but the actual store itself seems to be a real kind of slab-sided, you know, the vehicle store on Tuscan lands had a kind of, it looked like a sports car store, showroom kind of thing. This has got a real functionality about it. It's just here, bang, Agco, your agricultural company. We've got our purchase point just here, and we've got our direct selling and customization point just at the side here. When you buy vehicles, they appear here around the back of the building. I did buy, when I tested it, came out the back there. And oh yes, respawning vehicles. If you get a vehicle stuck, anything goes particularly wrong, or you just feel like being lazy and you're respawning vehicles back to the spawn point. The spawn point is in the farmyard back at the main farm, not here at the store. So right, now we're going back north again because I want to head to the next point, which is the livestock market. And there's another sell point up here, and there's a nice little treat installed just up here as well. So the livestock market is tucked away just here. So for all of your animal needs, just here. Now the sell point, Trevash, is here. But the weird thing is when you go onto this, it says silos. These silos are a temporary storage for your commodities. Drive over the unloading point with the full trailer and unload its contents. The symbol is displayed to the right, so you're in position to start unloading. To retrieve a commodity, now there's no pipe or anything. I don't know if that's the wrong disc. I assumed this was a sell point. If we go into here again and we go down to Trevash right at the bottom, it shows, and this is where this one gets a little bit weird, it shows straw, grass and hay, which I'm assuming is the sell point right in front of me. It also shows manure and slurry, digestate, well not digestate, no slurry, with prices. Here's the thing, this is the little surprise. I'm hoping this isn't a mistake, and I hope they don't rectify it in an update. These are purchase points. You can buy slurry and you can buy manure. I wasn't sure when I came up here, so I grabbed the trailer, came up and checked it. You can definitely buy manure, you can definitely buy slurry. So it's not actually, I haven't tried selling it back here as well actually. I didn't come back and try and sell any. Whether it's a purchase and sell point, that would be a bit odd. But you can definitely buy them both. That's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. So for slurrying of fields, manure spreading, muck spreading, you can buy them. We've got a buy point. Yes. I'm happy with that. I love doing the muck spreading, slurry spreading. I like to be able to kind of go organic right from the start. I'm not hippie. I'm not all kind of everything must be organic and wonderful. I've got no problem with doing fertiliser and stuff like that, but when you spend every Let's Play just fertilising fields, spreading and spraying, it's nice to do something different, and having the muck spreading available is fantastic. Right, we are now going to head this direction, and this again, we've had one side of the map which is down the other side of this little bit here, and you've got valleys, and we've come up to the top part of the map, and then it sweeps down the other side as well, down towards the mountain ranges. We're going to head this way now to the next sell point, and this is what I mean about just... it's a beautiful thing. The buildings look amazing, the little tracks and pathways. Weirdly, just here is where the Lintner is. I'm not sure why the Lintner's there, why it's sat up on top of here, but the Lintner's here, outside the chapel. I don't know why, but it is. But then we've got this incredible kind of vista, this sweep down from here, and the landscape drops away, all these different kind of tiers, almost like terracing on the side of the hill. You can imagine the Romans having done that, you know, thousands of years ago. So we sweep down under the main road to the next sell point, which is just down here. Incredibly bumpy. Look at this building. I mean, maybe it's slightly overkill for what it is for, but it's amazing. Wall sell point. Wow. I mean, I think this is the Lanificio one, is it? Is that the Lanificio? I will check. Yeah, Lanificio. And if you look on the next page, the wall prices, they're on green, not blue. They're on green. 14,200 at the spinnery, 12,000 at... That's high. That's fairly... I mean, say fairly high. That's very high. If I go into the blue for a great demand or something, you can imagine them being, you know, well worth doing sheep on this map. So I'm going to do another bit of a jump cut, and it's a pity because the scenery is just incredible. But I do need to get across here. Now this was the bit that kind of took my breath away. It's where you come to the little village, town, whatever you want to call it. And the design of it, the detail on it, it's breathtaking, it really is. And again, this may not be everyone's cup of tea, they may not like it at all. I just thought this was incredible. Sat on the hillside, the detail of the buildings, the little statues, courtyards, Italian flag proudly flying there. If I just turn it here, I think it was here. This was the spinnery, so this is the spinnery, is the spinnery sell point. So there we go, selling point for eggs just there as well, around the corner. Selling point for wool here. So you've got the spinnery here, down the bottom of the hill, the last one was the Lanificio. Don't want to get it wrong. Lanificio, sorry. I think I can get out through here. Let's go through this yard if I can get around the trees. And then back out the bottom of this little town. Out here. This is really testing my map reading skills. This way, I think. Right, so down the hill to the next of the sell points. If we turn left, just here, yes, I'm right. When you look back up at that, it's just brilliant, 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 brilliant. So we're heading to the biogas facility. I'm going to another back look at them. Oh, the trees are in the way. Back look? Look back was the word I was looking for. Yes, we can have a back look. Let's turn in here. Then we come to the biogas. Again, it's different. It's not just a plonked biogas facility. It's not a... sometimes you get 3 bunker silos, sometimes 5. Generally speaking, everything looks a bit the same. Some map makers do it differently and add in various different things. Again, multi-layered, multi-leveled. You've got a waste go over to the right. You've got this dip down behind the main building, the processing plant, whatever you want to call it. And up here, your sell point is here. And this is an exciting one too, because when we open this up, it tips into there. So I've checked with manure. I actually bought some manure from up the top of the hill at the manure buy point. Brought it down here with the trailer and tipped the manure in here. And it started producing digestate. So I'm assuming your silage, once you've done your bunker silo, when your silage is ready, you can tip with the trailer into here. Doing it with conveyor belts is going to be a lot trickier because the bunker silos are over there. But you can tip with the trailer into here, which is brilliant. I tried it with slurry, that wouldn't work. It would only work with manure that I could see anyway. That's cool. That's a nice touch. Bunker silos just off the left. 2 fairly large bunker silos. Not 5 or anything like that, just 2. And then if we swing around here and come along this side, it did take me a while to find the digestate tank. If we swing into this little bit here, this is where your digestate, it shows you the fill level and you can collect your digestate from here. So that's a biogas plant. Very nice indeed. We're going to now head down the hill. I've got to make sure I go the right way to the last of the sell points we're going to be looking at. Then hopefully in the time I've got left I can make it back to the farm. I hope so. I'm trying to get a better view up at the hill of the town, but I think I might have to be over there. You can see it a little bit, but again, looking across the fields, the like hillocks and raised bits and lower bits and the culverts and ditches, the textures, the colours, the trees, the terracotta roofs, it all works. It's immersive. It makes you feel like it's Italy. That's brilliant. So I'm going to see you again in a moment. We're going to head down to the last of the sell points, which is just down here. We are now at the southeast part of the map, and this was Le Capasol, is it? So look, Le Casupole. Le Casupole, which I think means little houses, small houses, which kind of makes sense because you've got a few little small houses here. That's your sell point down here. That would kind of make sense, look at those small houses. Yeah. And you can go quite a way off to the sides of the map. Like I say, it's not forestry in so much as it's thick forest, but there's plenty of trees, and you can go a fair way off the side of here. Again, you've got all of that over there, dropping away, amazing scenery, which you can drive down there, you can go down there, you can do logging, you can do whatever you want to do. There's no fields on it, there can't be, it's too rocky, it's too hilly and bumpy. Interesting place for a little roundabout. Anyway, so, how weird. I'm hoping, if I'm right, and we follow this route back, we'll get back to the main farmyard. Passing more little placeable areas, shelters, ditches. I think I need to turn here. And I'll see you back at the main farmyard in a moment. So, coming back to a little lane that just runs kind of north-south, the farm, back down this way, I'm left with a huge dilemma. My dilemma is this. I may have mentioned it, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it or not. I love this map. I am seriously torn, and I am really concerned. I really want to do this as a let's play. I really do. I can't run 3. I just can't. I just haven't got the time or the memory to be able to do 3. I really just haven't. Sussex Farm is going to be coming to a close fairly soon, because I'm nearly done with all my contracts, so I may drop off of Sussex Farm and onto this. But I'm also aware Shamrock Valley's due out from Oxygen David. Irish map, which looks just incredible. Go over, look on his website, on his page, and it's just beautiful. But then I think this is too, and I think I'm ready for a change. I've done English maps, I've done Lawfolds, the Scottish map, I did Drummard, an Irish map, I've done America, I'm doing an American map at the moment. I think Italy might be the way to go, you know. I really do. But anyway, I dare say I've missed something. I always do. And I dare say I'll get comments left to say that I've missed things. But that's it. It's glorious. It's beautiful. It's an incredibly detailed map. There's a lot to it. The topography of the map is just incredible. Like I said earlier, I don't think I'd get bored of driving around this map. Small machinery, going off to do jobs in the fields and bringing your crops back. I don't think I would get bored of it. Even the bumps in the as we come across the yard. Little details like that don't need to be there, but when you put them in, it just adds something. But anyway, that's it from me on this first look map tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful and informative. I apologise for being all gushy and you know, overexcited. But you know, sometimes when you go onto a map and you just get that feeling, you think to yourself, this is the one. I got that feeling. I get that feeling. If you have enjoyed it, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.